Hey everybody, this is David, Maplewood Dave VSG, and this is my fourth video update. Anyhow, I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy on the 24th of April 2014 at Morristown Memorial Hospital with Dr. Michael Nussbaum. Anyhow, since this is only my fourth video and it's been 15 weeks, you could say I'm an underachiever in the video blog world, I guess. You know, many people are much more faithful. And I've been meaning to get back with some of you guys and let you know how I'm doing. Things are going really well. And I wanted to give you some of my stats. I'll jump right into that. So when I started this process, before I started, my high weight of all time was 420 pounds. I still want to do, I say that and I want to do the Nene Leak side. I like, you know. Anyway, 420 pounds, wow. So on surgery day, I was 405. So I'd lost about 15 pounds, give or take, on that day. And then this morning, I have notes. This morning, I was 323.4. So that is a loss of 81.6 pounds since surgery in 3.5 months, okay, 15 weeks, yeah, and 96.6 since my high, and I gotta tell you, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling better than I have in years. So let me get down to it and tell you a little bit what's going on with me. I'm up to eating whatever I want. Well, any foods. I don't eat whatever I want, obviously, because even though you have the surgery, you still have to diet. You still have to make healthy choices, because if you don't, you're screwed. You'd have gone through all of that for nothing. I actually know a person who had lap band surgery quite some time ago and lost quite a bit of weight, and he's gained it all back. And the reason he's gained it all back is because he's addicted to ice cream. And ice cream fits quite nicely through a lap band, I guess. So, I don't know what the deal is. That's more of a psychological issue than it is a physical issue. So, I don't know, maybe he can get hypnotized to break that addiction. Anyway, so that's a sad thing, that he's going through that. But I hope nobody out there is addicted to ice cream, because apparently it'll screw you up. So let me tell you a little bit about what's going on with me. So after the surgery, 6 weeks, we had to wait 6 weeks and then have metabolic testing. That's what my surgeon required. I don't know if you guys have ever had that. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about it on their video blogs, but I went in and I had to fast for 12 hours, so no food. And I went in one morning to have all of these different, this myriad of tests. So where I go, so at this medical center, it's like little booths, like stalls, kind of, like horse stalls. And you get called back, and I'm sitting in the barber chair kind of thing, and it's set up pretty good. But you can see, like, from booth to booth, kind of. And the phlebotomist, who's going to take my blood, comes over, and he has this tray with 17 test tubes in it. 17, like, they're lined up like soldiers. And I just looked at it, and I was like, is that all for me? And he's like, oh, yeah. So I'm like, So, so the woman that was taking blood at the next aisle over, that was working at the medical center, was hearing this conversation, and she was looking at me from where she was standing, and she said, have you ever had blood drawn before? And I'm like, well, yeah, but not for the whole village, right? So I'm like, this is something. So they're like, it's nothing. So, they took all the blood, and they put the vials in and everything, and we got down to the last vial, to 17, all right, to the 17th vial, and it was dribbling out. And he's like, oh, I might have to go to the other arm to fill this one. And I don't know what I did. I just, I kind of looked down, and I closed my eyes, and I just psyched myself out to get, a little bit excited, maybe, I don't know if I just tried to force my heart rate to go up, and all of a sudden the blood came oozing out, and he's like, I don't know what the hell you did, but it worked. So apparently using the force is my secret weapon. So I didn't have to get stuck again that day. So so then I went home. Then I went to work, and I'm at lunch, and the doctor's office called me, and I wasn't supposed to hear from them for a week, and I thought something was wrong, and I'm like, oh no, this is really bad. So I went outside and I took the call. And basically they told me that the guy that took my blood forgot a vial. So I had to come back the next day and get stuck again for the 18th vial. So the lesson is when you're choosing people to draw your blood, competent is better than handsome or pretty. Competent. Anyway, but at least I didn't have to fast again. So I went in the next day and I did the blood. So the outcomes were pretty good. My cholesterol is 144, which I think is great. I'm not on any medications. Now I was pre-diabetic. My glucose was 118. For those of you who know what that means, anything over 100, I guess, is high. Now this metabolic testing came back and said, okay, well, you're down to 102, so that's going in the right way, so that's good. And now in September, I'll go and I'll have that tested again. There's a few tests they're going to test again. Everything else actually looked really good, and they test all the vitamins in your body, so it was really kind of thorough. And, well, it should be for like 18 vials of blood, right? So the one thing my doctor did say, she said all my vitamins and minerals looked great, but she thought I was a little low on some of the B's, so she has me take a supplement for that. And that's worked out okay. So we'll see how I'm doing on B's when I go back to have that checked out. So, so this journey has been really kind of unique. I now do things that I haven't been able to do. For those who have watched my blogs, before surgery, my back had hurt. I couldn't walk really very far because my back would hurt. Just walking from my office to my car at work would sometimes just send my back into a spasm. It was horrible. And now I'll go out in the evening for a walk. I have a greyhound. I can't even take her with me because she gets tuckered out. So, I'll walk her a little bit and then bring her home, and then I'll go off on my own thing. And it's nothing for me to walk 3 miles now and, get some exercise that way. And I'm still not even 300 pounds yet. So, just having the energy and being able to do things and go out is amazing. So if I had to say what my original wishes were for the surgery would be that I would gain my mobility back and my youth and things like that. And it's working. It's really working. I'm not having problems with hunger too much. I do get some cravings, but it seems like I've been able to have more power over them, I guess. It's amazing. I went to go visit my mom in Maryland, and my mom, even though I'm 51, my mom's still like when I come, she likes to cook, for me. So she made like a roast, a beef roast and everything, and she, cuts it up and well, she doesn't cut up my meat, but she slices the meat and she puts it on the plate. She serves you at the table, like I was 10, and she enjoys doing that. She enjoys taking, so I let her. Anyway. So she calls me for dinner, and I go in there, and she has taken 3 healthy-size hunks of roast and some vegetables and this and that. And I told her a little bit like certain things I'm not going to have. And I'm like, that's too much food. And she's like, oh, well, it's not that much. And so I ate one of the pieces of roast and some of the vegetables, and then I was done. And she couldn't believe it. And I'm like, you don't understand. I'm full. I'm satisfied. That's all I need. So we put the other 2 pieces back. Now, I will say this, and this is kind of bitchery if you ask me. So she asked me before my visit what I could have and what I was eating. And I gave her some guidelines on what I could eat. Get some chicken, get some, if you want to get some lunch meat, fine, get some turkey or something. And she did do some of that. She also told me that she got a red velvet cake with buttercream ice frosting. And I was like, well, that's fine, but I'm not having any of that, And then she proceeded to, and this will tell you, and I love my mother, and she has been a person who has complained about my weight my entire life, all right? She is a major, major complainer when it comes to that, and shame her, actually, in a way. Sorry, Mom, but I'm calling you out. And she won't watch this anyway. I'd have to leave her breadcrumbs on how to find it on YouTube. Anyway, but so after dinner, she decided she was going to have some cake. Now, my mom's never had a weight problem. And she sat in that kitchen, and I was in the TV room, which is adjacent, and she was describing like how good this cake was. And all I could think was, you rotten. I'm not going to say it. It is my mom. But you know what? people don't understand. Maybe they don't understand, or I don't know what causes people to want to try and sabotage you. But I guess she just didn't understand that the red velvet cake had no pull over me whatsoever. Had no pull. I was full. I'm fine. I was fine with what I had. So I wonder if any of you have people in your lives that try to sabotage you, describing the taste of things that you really shouldn't have on a diet. I'm sure other people deal with this, even by people you would expect to be the most well-meaning people. Anyway, so other things. What's going on? So let me tell you something. I went out and bought this. I don't know if you guys know this. This is a Jawbone Up 24. It's kind of like a Fitbit, I guess. I don't know much about the Fitbit. But this little thing, I wear it all day and all night. I sleep in it. And I got it on Amazon. A couple people at work have it. And basically, it's like a pedometer. It does a whole bunch of things. You put all your information into it. And it tracks how much movement you're getting, how far you've walked. You can load in things if you do like weightlifting or different types of exercise or runs. And it tells you how many calories you're burning at rest, how many calories you've burned by exercise, what the total is, your longest period of activity, and your longest period of rest. And one of the problems that I have is that I work at a desk job. And I can get in there in the morning, and if I don't have to go to the bathroom or something or do something, I'll sit there and I'll work for hours. I've had days where I looked up and it was 4 hours and I hadn't moved. Well, that's not good for anybody. So I thought, well, every hour at least I have to stand up and stretch and move around. So this thing will actually vibrate on my wrist to remind me, yo, Dave, get the hell up. So that's really good. And it also, I hit a sleep mode at night when I go to bed. And it tells me how long I've slept, how much of it was deep sleep versus light sleep, how many times I woke up. And, and that I think goes hand in hand because, you need just as much sleep. Sleep is the biggest part of your health as movement, So without it, your mind's not as sharp, you're not as healthy. You have people who are sleep deprived have tendency to have problems with weight. So I thought this kind of did an all-around good job for me. And so, $130. I'm worth it. Anyway, and I've been using it. And you can do teams. So it went out to Facebook and it found friends that also have this. And so now they're teams. So I can see how they're doing. They encourage me on. It's really kind of cool. So anybody who's not doing this, I'd encourage them to look into it because I'm really liking it. So I'm looking at my notes here to see what else, because I don't want to get too far off topic or I just talk too long. And I'm already up to 13 minutes practically. So, so with this change, there comes a lot of different things. It's like you start thinking like, what could I do for myself? Maybe I'll get new glasses. I haven't yet, but maybe I will. I went out and had my teeth bleached. Which, by the way, if you ever had your teeth zoom whitened, there's some pain involved in that after the fact. I felt like I was kicked in the face by a horse. For $500, that's how I felt. Oh, you'll be a little sore. Right. Anyhow, but I understand that that's different for everybody, because I have a friend that had it done and he didn't feel anything. So I guess my nerves are just touchy. So the other day, I had decided that all of my pants and all of my shorts are falling off me, and I'm going to go see my dad in a few weeks at the end of the month in Cleveland. And I thought, well, it's still going to be shorts weather, and the ones I've got are still hanging on me. I'm just like tightening the belt to keep them up. So I went to the store because I was afraid if I waited a few more weeks, there wouldn't be any shorts because, we're coming out of the season. And I don't know if any of you have done this. If you are cursed or blessed, depending on your point of view, to have a ghetto booty, which I've addressed in previous videos, which I do have quite the ghetto booty, you're sensitive to how it looks. And they say that you should pay attention to that. So I wanted to buy shorts that were a little bit tight because, I'm going to drop out of them. And it's a waste of money, kind of. If you buy a few pairs of shorts, I bought 3 pairs and it was like $120 or something. And they were on sale, So I'm in the dressing room and I've got my cell phone and I'm taking pictures in the mirror of my ass. Now you may think that that's a freaky old guy taking pictures of his ass in the dressing room. But you know what? You want to see. Does it look obscene? Are these pants too tight? Should I wear them now? Should I not? Or is it baggy? Everybody wants to look good. And I think, you have to, I've waited so long to get into smaller clothes that I decided that I was buying all three pair. I didn't care about the 120 whatever bucks, because I'd had to spend that much on buying bigger clothes all this time. So I'm doing really great with it. I'm happy. So, of course, now I got to delete the pictures of that I took of my ass in the shorts, in case I should die. And somebody's like, they'd have to looking at my pictures, on my phone. Of course, I could see my mother with my dead finger trying to do the thumbprint to unlock the phone to see what pictures are on there. So they'll be going away. I don't need them once I decided that the pants were obscene to wear out in public. I didn't look like a spectacle of myself, or as my father would say, I didn't look like I was giving away what I used to sell. Anyhow, so on that note, I think I'm going to wrap up. I'm just loving life, and I'm loving the surgery. For me was a really good, really, really good decision. And I'm just excited about what's going to happen. Obviously, I'm still in the 300s. So, I originally set my goal at 250. And now that I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, well, I probably can go lower than that. My surgeon had actually said he thought that at about 6 foot that I would be probably around 220, 230 is where I would settle. And maybe that would be a good place. Maybe that would be a good place. I'm getting exercise. I'm working out. I'm doing some weightlifting. Let's see how everything pulls in. Anyway, so on that note, I'm going to leave you with a quote that I read that I thought was interesting, since I'm taking pictures of my ass in dressing rooms now, like a weird old perv. Sophia Loren said that sex appeal is 50% what you've got and 50% what people think you've got. And I hope for you and for me that people think eventually that we've got a lot. So you guys have a great day. Talk to you.